Warning, Dazz Radio is not responsible for any losses, damages, or liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast. 1K frequency is not intended to replace professional advice, and our views may not necessarily reflect those views of our featured guests.
Great to have you here with us. Welcome to 1K Frequency with your hosts, Dazzo, Skittlekicks, and Atlas.
What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to 1K Frequency on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon / evening, wherever you guys are. Mr. Skittlekicks is up in the house.
Sup?
It's Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, just another
day before the hump.
Yep.
Day before the hump. So,
what's good in the hood?
Not a whole lot. Just just kind of doing a little bit of researching into some gaming stuff out there because not a whole lot was offered on Steam, and came across a couple of things.
Oh.
I came across Nintendo has apparently filed for a FCC, I think it's a license or something.
Yeah, that's a new license.
It's a new license for a new controller that
Ooh.
supposedly is going to be a GameCube controller for the Switch.
Ooh.
Now, as I was listening to this this article, because it was a video, basically a video of the whole thing. It was like a multi-segment thing.
What's going on, my friend?
The guy pointed out that people that have been GameCube lovers for a very long time, and I forget when that came out. I know my neighbor had one. That they would love to see a lot of those titles come to the Switch.
Yeah.
But Nintendo seems to have a different mindset of, release all the classics, if you will. Probably not everyone, but most of the classics from Nintendo, Super NES, and I think N64 is kind of what they're working on right now. Kind of reporting those all over to the Switch, which is fine. I never had a desire to do N64 because when I worked at Toys R Us, we had the demo machine. And I absolutely despised the controller. I mean, I don't know what drunken fool thought a three-legged controller like that made any logical sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at what we had with PlayStation, which, because it did have two analog sticks, and they were kind of right next to your thumbs, basically. Like when you held the controller, your thumbs were in pretty good proximity to analog switches. But no, this one had one analog stick. And if you were left or right-handed, that's fine. But I just hated that third leg. I really did. It's like my controller does not need a dick. It does not need a dick at all. But apparently, they thought the dick is good. And I also felt, too, that coming from the Nintendo world, I went right into PlayStation's controllers. Because that was like the first actual gaming system I bought for myself when I actually had some money. And the controllers always felt comfortable. So, with that being said, this new GameCube type controller is intriguing. It's supposedly going to be Bluetooth. And I don't know if it's going to be Wi-Fi. I'm assuming it'll be Wi-Fi as well because they'll probably throw that that chip on it, which is fine. I don't really like using wireless controllers because relying on a battery, in the middle of a game, I have bad experiences with mice doing that to me and keyboards doing that to me. I just do not like that. However, good on Nintendo for actually doing that. Obviously, GameCube was hugely popular. And though I don't know sales figures, and I don't know if N64 did better than GameCube, because if you recall, GameCube was CD driven. Now we already had CD driven games. We had Neo Geo. No, Neo Geo was cartridge. I'm sorry. You had Sega Saturn. You had PlayStation. I think one of the console had gone CD.
Yep.
And I wondered if, because N64 was so highly anticipated, like people, I remember working at Toys R Us. The first year was announced, and everybody wanted it. Everybody wanted that. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know if GameCube was better.
So I can tell
financially for them. Yeah, I'd like to hear those numbers.
Stats. N64, 32.93 million units sold worldwide.
Okay.
GameCube?
Most of those went to Japan.
GameCube sold 21.74 million units.
So
the
really
N64
yeah,
is
that was
the better.
That was the last one where they actually did cartridges.
Yeah.
Yeah, GameCube was the first CD for Nintendo.
N64 for the win.
I never. My brother had one. I just never got into it. My brother was huge into Halo, so.
I love the Donkey Kong series.
I saw that on Super NES, and I was like, eh. I wasn't, to be honest. I never was even that big of a fan of the original Donkey Kong on freaking Atari.
Yeah.
Let alone the remakes in Nintendo. Or I think Sega had a copy of it. I don't remember. But yeah, I was just like, eh. I had my thing. I had my favorites, so yeah.
Nope, there's Mikey again. I think he's having audio issues.
Like you.
Not audio.
No connection.
No. Oh, yep. I'm in the bumfuck middle of nowhere in Vegas.
Ooh. By the way,
which is basically outside of Vegas itself.
Did you hear about the arson happening at the Tesla shop?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I know about that. I also am aware of the shooting that happened at Circus Circus.
Yep. Oh man, I'm tired. It's actually
crazy
pretty
people do
over
crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's another crazy stuff that happened down in Texas the other day.
Oh yeah, tornadoes and. But most Texans are pretty much like, just a breeze. It's just a breeze. No, and I'm not poking fun at. I mean, I know they're violent, and the ones in Texas can get very, very violent.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, they can literally obliterate.
I mean,
but I remember the one that hit. The first one I remember hitting was. I don't remember if this was first or the second one I'm going to mention, but the first one I remember was Joliet, which I think is Missouri, where that city was leveled.
Oh yeah.
And I don't remember if that was a 4 or a 5.
I believe
scale. I think it was a 5.
4 or 5, either one.
Yeah, I mean, the finger of God is number 5, but the one that took out the tiny ass town of Siren, Wisconsin, was, I mean, it was like a nuclear bomb went off in that city. Like there was nothing.
Yeah.
Everything was leveled.
Yeah.
And
crazy.
I remember I was watching because that storm ripped through our state. I remember our weatherman Paul Douglas was talking about this, and he was freaked out, and he was one of the guys that basically helped build Doppler.
Yeah.
And yep, he did. He was freaked out because he knew how bad this tornado was getting, and he just said, "Whatever you do, just get out of the way. Just go, because that town, he knew that town was not going to survive."
Yeah.
It's the ironic thing about Siren, Wisconsin. This was a big deal. Their actual tornado siren was non-functional.
Wow.
Yep. There was not a word. They've been trying to get it fixed for years, and I don't think they have the budget. It was a very small town. I think it was actually like a village. I think it was like less than 1,000 people. But yeah, he watched that storm just roll right over that city. He was visibly shaken. And so yeah, so whenever I hear like tornadoes ripping through Texas, I'm like, you gotta understand too, Texas is vast.
Yeah.
And Texas is a hell of a lot of farmland.
Yep.
And a hell of a lot of open land. It's still kind of a lot of Wild West down there. If you really get into certain areas, it's very, very, very open. So it's really scary. I mean, if a tornado like that hit like Dallas or Fort Worth or Houston or Austin or San Antonio,
that's a different story.
Exactly. Yeah. Then you're looking at mass casualty or a lot of injuries, certainly a lot of displaced people.
Yeah.
And I'm not minimizing, the amount of tornadoes that they had recently.
Yeah.
Because that would be a small outbreak. But do remember, folks, this time of year, March, not only is basketball madness, but it is also tornado madness for the South.
Exactly. Especially anywhere from Texas all the way to Florida. Whew.
Oh, to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Tornado Alley stretches into Minnesota, roughly about, I think it goes as far north as St. Cloud. But anybody on the outskirts, like where I live, can still get hit.
Yeah.
And we've had them. I don't think we get the huge ones. We get a lot more straight line winds than we get tornadoes up here. And our thunderstorms are massive.
Yep.
I mean, we'll get the torrential flooding rains. Now, I was in Texas when 3 hurricanes back to back to back. I think those are the ones that went through Galveston.
Mm-hmm.
And we were on the outer rain bands of those hurricanes. And I remember the apartment I was living in at the time, the entire parking lot was underwater. Now, luckily, they have really good storm drains, so most of that water was not standing water. This was water that would rush off, but on the streets themselves, you could see some of the low-lying areas were just water. I mean, like above vehicle height. And that gets pretty crazy. But, I don't toss this off as like, okay, no big deal. People, 50 people were killed or something like that? I don't minimize that.
I can't remember how many exactly.
I thought it said 50. I thought the article said 50.
Maybe.
And
I know there was like 56 to about 60 tornadoes that was confirmed. That was what I know.
That might have been what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been.
I think there was like 6 to 10 actual people that actually died throughout the entire weekend.
Yeah.
But crazy to think 50 to 60 freaking tornadoes ranging from EF2 to freaking 5 happening all weekend. Crazy.
Yeah, and as I pointed out though, I mean, with our advanced warning systems that we have these days, 50 people could have been 5 or 50 million or 5 million or whatever. 60 years ago.
Hey, Philin.
70 years ago. So, I mean, we are a hell of a lot better. We have a lot more advanced warning. However,
but still,
tornadoes are one of the most unpredictable weather phenomenon on the planet.
Yep.
And, when I poke at my state, what people need to understand is that because of where we are geographically, we get more violent weather than tornadoes create.
Actually pretty tired.
Because our thunderstorms, the one that hit
How are
in
you?
87, no, 80, yeah, 87, 86 or 87, was called the storm of the century because they said the cloud tops alone were 66,000 feet to the atmosphere.
Damn.
How many miles is that? That's a hell of a lot of miles.
Yeah.
Those are some big heads. Those are some big. I mean, I remember I was like almost 11 I was either 11 or I was almost 11, and we were all in the basement. My parents and I were all in the basement, and I remember waking up soaking wet because our basement flooded.
Yeah.
We had at least it was either a good quarter inch or possibly a half inch of water on the floor.
Yeah.
And it was an unfinished basement, by the way. So Yeah, and then my dad got called into work. And he worked in the city of Edina at the time, and at that time, if you look back at the 80s and what it looked like back then, it was a lot different. But he had to go into work, and he had said that there were people at the Southdale Shopping Center who were still trapped in there.
Yeah.
And the stores were giving them clothing and basically just to try, keeping them keeping things open so people could actually get clothing and food and things like that.
Right.
And they said that also, like with those, all the skylights were shattered from hailstones, and these hailstones were baseball to softball size. So yeah, so we get some very wicked weather up here, for sure.
Wicked weather.
So yeah, but I'll tell you something. Seeing a mile-wide tornado. My brother saw one actually. He was in Nebraska and he caught one on camera, and I took a picture of it. And the base was nearly a mile wide.
Yeah. I was looking at some of the pictures online just throughout the entire weekend of all the tornadoes that spawned up. Dude, that is nasty.
Yeah, it'd be great if you live in Canada. You guys get a whole lot up there.
Well,
too far north. You'll get nasty weather, but I don't think you'll get tornadoes like the frequent ones.
You do, especially out in the counties, like
Well,
not
let me
in the
ask you
major
this, though.
cities. I live right downtown, so I don't get none.
Yeah, but the big reason why we get out here is because we have the Rocky Mountains. That's the biggest thing, is because the Rocky Mountains to our west, and that cold and warm air mixing in the center of the country always spawns these damn.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how far up north into Canada do the Rockies much. It would be like around I want to say Alberta,
Yeah, Alberta.
possibly
Yep.
BC,
BC.
possibly
Alberta,
BC a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, and I know that Yellowstone touches part of Canada as well.
Yep.
But you guys are so far east. I mean,
Just because
Ontario
we're east
is-
doesn't mean shit.
yeah. Well, but but by the time it actually, because where
No
Ontario
tornadoes.
is right
Yeah.
above Lake Superior. You basically are above Lake Superior. With a little bit kind of, if you split Minnesota in half, you kind of divide our state in half if you draw a straight line down.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
but by the time it ever hits you guys, a lot of it's already diminished.
Actually, no. Tornadoes can spawn anywhere in Ontario.
Well, of course they can
Especially-
spawn anywhere in the world. I mean,
we like fucking before we even moved up to Holton Hills with the AM station, a technical tornado / hurricane actually did brush up that entire freaking old studio that was there.
how did you guys get a hurricane? Are you guys not far enough inland?
Well, I think it was
No,
an
you would
actual
have
tornado.
had rain bands. Yeah, you would have had rain bands from that, and possibly.
It was a tornado,
winds.
actually. I think it was like a
No, I mean,
Or-
you understand, it was all, you also had a hurricane come up there. It would have been all the rain bands from the States. Probably like a nor'easter.
Yeah. But it was a I think it was a EF3 or EF4 tornado that touched down up there. It was like many years ago before we actually moved up. That's why.
I am still to this day so not into the whole enhanced Fujita scale.
Yeah.
I'm because I was raised under the old F system, the old Fujita scale.
Right.
Like 318 miles an hour was an F5.
Mhm.
And I know those, but apparently now it's a lot slower. I don't know why they remeasured it, but all they did
Yeah.
was they flew the planes into it. Still. And just think about this, dude.
Mhm.
Think about this. If you never saw a debris cloud, it literally would be invisible. Because it's literally just wind. That's
Yep.
all it is. It's just a big wind, cylinder, if you will, or a cone or a funnel.
Yeah.
One thing I will tell you this. I remember years ago, I looked out at the sky because I used to kind of like study this stuff. I never wanted to meteorology, but I was kind of a cloud watcher. And I remember I remember when we were having severe weather, I saw the clouds going in two different directions. So you had one going one direction, one going the other direction. That's
Mhm.
rotation.
Yep.
When they're going opposite. And on the radar, if you ever look at that, you can see the wind direction because one side is red, one side is green, and when they meet in the middle, that's where you get the wraparound. And I thought it was fascinating. So I watched that. Then I remember we watched a storm front come into our neighborhood, and it was literally like black. Like you could see literally this black line of clouds coming towards us. Everything was like blue behind our house or in our front yard. Black in the backyard. Like, I mean, we have like a bluish water tower, and it was like just hugely enhanced. It looked like it was lit up. And I was like, dude. And then I remember seeing these little wispy clouds right below this thing. And these almost felt like I could jump up and touch them. That's how low they seemed to fly. I was like, okay, this is gonna be. But you know,
Yeah.
we just got the rain. But I do remember seeing like funnel clouds, but. One funnel cloud I've actually seen in real life, but it never touched down. And if it did, it would have hit our lake, which would have been a water spout.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, I don't mean to get off on some meteorological tangent here, but you know.
But you know.
But yeah, that was kind of crazy though to see that. I was like, well,
Yeah.
typical time of year. Let's go.
50 plus.
Let's go.
I mean, normally you guys would get like 30 to 40, but not 50.
Oh no.
freaking
We had 1 year. I think it was like I want to say it was like 150 or 200 that were reported.
Yeah, but not on a whole
entire-
freaking weekend though.
Oh, not in a weekend. No. I don't even know.
This
what
was
the
like
most we had.
one of the most randomness happening out of the blue.
Yeah, it's not out of the blue. I mean,
Yeah, no, I know.
because right now, if you, this is one thing. When I get into severe weather, just as somebody who just likes to watch it, but I also used to panic a lot with it. Because that's why I started to study it, because I wanted to know how this happened.
Yeah.
And or like how things happen. And
Right.
one of the things that I just lost my train. Damn it. Oh, my train's derailed. I
Got you.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I lost it. Go ahead, move on. I lost it. Derailed. Derailed Valley.
Yep. God damn it. God damn it. What a frickin' day, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, you're pretty much done with your server stuff at your job after all went well.
Yeah.
But now you, because it was such a glorious, wonderful day outside, you got to spend your day outside.
Technically not outside. I was stuck at the CN Tower for like freaking 6 hours. So
To be honest, though, that gets away from your boss, though. Other than that would be good. That would be a plus.
my boss had a fever, so he was under the weather for like the entire
wait.
weekend.
If he had a fever, did he demand more cowbell?
I don't know.
If you don't know that reference,
I know
I'm gonna
exactly what
send
you
you
mean.
Okay, I was
Damn it.
about to send you that reference. I will send you that lock-in reference.
I'm halfway sick too. I still can't get rid of this stupid cough.
I know that my fiance said that they got a lot of shit whipped up in Texas, like a lot of dust that blew in, and like both her mom and her were like just really messed up because they both have severe allergies.
Oh,
So I wonder, you guys have a lot of snow up in your area still, or is it a lot?
no, it's all melted.
So you're probably, and you haven't had rain, right? At least nothing that's accumulated.
Nothing crazy.
Okay, so yeah, you could be getting a lot of dust up there then.
Yeah.
Dust blowing around. Well, I don't know if you have allergies to it or some type of asthma, but
I used to have
I can
asthma, and then
I
well,
do too.
actually, last year was actually pretty bad when I had allergies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
I had
know
allergy-
allergy
I had- I
season
got
is
allergy shots
just
as-
around the door, just around the damn
I had
door.
allergy shots as a kid, so I was able to pretty much hold my immune.
But
So,
yeah, spending 6 hours trying to fucking do work at the CN Tower. That was fun. That was fun.
but you know,
I'm glad that's over though. I know how to deal with it. Hopefully.
you
Not for a
know,
long
you
time.
love your, you know, you love your job. Let's just be realistic.
No,
you
I
love
don't.
your job with
No, I
a
don't.
passion because you've been there for so many years. You
Yeah,
won't
I
quit.
know.
You won't find something new. Come on.
I mean, if YouTube actually paid me, I would have fucking done YouTube for like fucking years. I wouldn't have to fucking. I wouldn't have to
But
suck
it's-
fucking sit at work. I could just do
Dude,
YouTube all fucking
it's
day.
impossible. It's impossible to become successful on YouTube. We already know that.
I know. Especially this day and age.
Oh yeah, unless you're literally cheat the system, like most people cheat the system, you know, buying bots or whatever, not getting banned for it.
Yeah.
So, one thing that I thought was interesting.
No?
You know, we've been talking recently about the new 50 from
Oh, the graphics cards.
the NVIDIA graphics cards, and
Yeah.
how not only are they extremely hard to get because they can't even release them.
Chris, what's up, man?
There's been a lot of talk about, first of all, that there's people that are scalping them for like over $2,000.
Yep.
And you know, scalpers, and some actually no, I take that back. These were, I think, retail prices, not just scalpers. These are retail prices.
Yep.
Or MSRP. I don't think it was MSRP. I believe it was. Retail. And I'm thinking, okay, these things are really scarce as it is. Then I got to thinking, something that companies will do is they will short release, if you will, a batch of things, right? But then when I read about these computer builders, these boutique builders that usually have deals with some of these companies, they can't even get.
Yeah.
So I actually wonder if this is going to hurt NVIDIA
Skittles has an
and
echo?
their user base. I have an echo.
According to Chris Horseman.
Yeah, I have an echo now. Actually, hello. Is there anybody in there?
There it is.
And now you just got copyright strikes. I guarantee that just fucked you. And demonetized. I'm not sure why. Well, you gotta remember too, guys. I have a very shady internet connection.
Yeah.
And I think my dad's watching the news right now because
Maybe.
streaming wise. Yeah. I have I have less than a megabyte upload. Okay. So echoing is gonna be a thing. All right, this is why I can't stream.
Yeah.
So my apologies to our listeners if you hear echoing. I mean, I'll blame Microsoft.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't. Let me ask you though.
What's up?
What do you think about this whole RTX, like the whole 50? Do you think that this is just more of a gimmick than anything? Because I'm looking at this article where you said the MSI Afterburner is at 36 gigabits per second.
Yeah, I was reading
I
that.
think is that memory throughput? I'm assuming that's memory throughput. That's the CUDA cores.
I believe so.
So, is there even a net gain for somebody who's on like the 270 or the last version, which was like the 40 series? Is there really any benefit? Because I haven't found anything that's a benefit for upgrading.
I don't think there is. This is just another fucking. Hey, we're Nvidia. We're gonna push another fucking series of graphics card out there, just because we
And we're
can.
gonna make it so that you can't get one.
Just because we can.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
I
I
mean,
really don't get that. And it bothers me too because this was not really a thing when I first got into computers. Like there was never this issue with all this. Now,
the
of
last
course,
15 years has definitely changed.
yeah, a lot of that was cryptocurrency mining.
Yeah.
Yeah, cryptocard or cryptocurrency, like you know, like the popular whatever the hell it's called.
Yep.
I forget what it's called. But anyway, yeah, it's things like that that cause the issue. I think also, yeah, they're gonna blame tariffs. But by the way, I want to talk about that. You heard about your Canadian boys meeting with our guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So now they fucking understand why we're doing it.
Yeah.
So I love how they were like crying about it, like, oh yeah, now we get it. So, but yeah, they're gonna say that tariffs are gonna cause it. Yeah, you're probably right. It probably will because we, you know.
It's gonna cause everything to be fucking skyrocketing.
Well, of course it is, but you know, we have to rebuild our country because we have too many fuckers out there destroying it. We have to fucking rebuild from the ground up practically. So yeah, it's gonna be painful for a while. I'm not kidding you. But and graphics cards and computer chips and all that stuff.
That's gonna get real expensive real quick.
Oh, fucking China hates our guts. China fucking hates our guts. You know, some stuff comes from not from Taiwan. Some come from Japan. But the majority of it does come from China.
Yeah.
And honestly, we're too fucking lazy and too stupid to go digging for our own silica, you know, and actually create our own shit.
Unfortunately.
We can't. My trees. It's a hole in the sky where a tree once stood. You know? Like, good God.
So I did find this article.
Yeah.
That the MSI version of the RTX 5090 Supreme that caused the black screen.
Yep. Which means
where you have to
guarantee that's either display port is not being registered or the HDMI port is not being registered.
And whoever has it has to have their monitor refresh rate down to 60. So if you have like a 300 plus freaking refresh rate, you have to go back to 60.
And
that hurts.
Well, no, but honestly, I believe the human eye can only see as high as
right.
I think it's 120. 120 is where you really would never see me flicker. Why the fuck do we need a 300 freaking resolution refresh rate? Why? The human eye can never see that. I think now it just becomes about narcissism, vanity, and you know, big dick energy.
Just because we can, and we will build it.
I don't mind if you build it. I was going to say something else, but anyway, moving on. I don't mind if they're building this stuff, but it's like the obsession is what gets me. People are obsessing over a graphics card they can't even get to, and it's working on problems, like you said, the black screen of death. You know?
Hey, at least it's not the blue screen of death.
Oh no, we'll talk about that in a moment. We got that to talk about in a moment. But yeah, it's I don't get it. I mean, look, and maybe just because I'm such a long time computer builder, IT guy.
But here's the thing,
it boggles my mind about this. Like, where are we ever going to need this stuff? Honestly. And so actually, no. The bigger thing is not just this thing, but it's the AI shit they're trying to generate inside of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because AI is the next thing.
And it'll probably be like the Terminator.
Yep.
Skynet.
I mean, here's the thing with NVIDIA. They still have not fucking fixed this black screen problems, including in the ones that is in the 4000 series.
Yeah. Yep.
That's fucked. That's completely fucked.
My old TI, my old 1050 Ti, would occasionally give me a black screen death.
Thank God my 1080 hasn't yet, but God forbid.
And my 1050 Ti was always, I actually would get the monthly update.
God forbid that happens.
Well, I think as the updates, I think that's the one thing is that updates break things more. And
Yeah.
You tend to break everything every time you fucking push an update. But
I mean, Windows 10 pushed my fucking mic to shit today when I did the update. Fucking Christ. It messed up my goddamn microphone signal.
I can see if Copilot exists on your computer.
Yeah. Wait, where's Copilot?
Exactly.
Who took my Copilot?
Exactly.
Did you?
Now, okay, so let me ask you this: if there was a brand of GPU that you wanted to buy, what brand do you typically go with?
Asus, or I would either go with the Founders Edition, maybe.
Okay.
What about you?
I've actually gone back and switched to Radeon.
Yeah.
So I'm actually because I think that AMD has less issues. For one thing.
Right, I mean,
now, granted, I'm basing this on a very old computer. My computer is at least 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
And that's the motherboard CPU. I've upgraded the RAM. I never upgraded the CPU. I can actually put an i7 in this. But I don't know if I can even find an i7 for this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And actually authentic, not a freaking scam, because that's a thing.
Pretty sure you can.
It'd be third party though. I guarantee it's no longer produced. But is it worth it at this point? Well, because that CPU will not have the TPM 2.0 that I would need to upgrade. So, and I might actually talk about it tonight about my potential shift to Linux.
Yeah.
If everything falls into place, like I'm fucking done with Windows. Hear that, Microsoft? I'm done with your shitty ass product. Oh, eat a dick. But yeah, I was thinking about this. What did I like? I mean, I always wanted a 1080. I always wanted a 1080 Ti. Because that was like the popular one. That was a really popular one.
Yes.
I think if I could upgrade right now, I probably would not go any higher than the 30 series. To be honest, because the 30 series will pretty much fulfill everything I need to do in game.
Yeah.
Because I'm not playing the latest, greatest game.
And
I'm
even
not
then,
playing...
that's just a way pushing it.
Well, and I think it's like it's overkill.
Yeah.
Like, okay, because my thing is, okay, the bigger graphics card means most times because games are becoming so high-end image, like their textures are becoming so high quality. That's great for realism. However, you can't just look at your GPU as like, oh, hey, this is the be-all end-all. No, you got to look at your CPU, your motherboard, your RAM levels. You have to look at your hard drive if you want to go. And really, you want to. At that point, you're going to start wanting to go back to or go to thumbsticks. You know, the M.2s because they're faster. Left tangent here, but let me tell you something. When I first got my first computer, one of the things I was told was that don't pile everything up on your motherboard. Don't have it like a shit ton of stuff plugged into it. Like, get it off the motherboard. Use your power supply has multiple things you can use adapters on. Like your fan, whatever. Don't use the fans on. Don't use the fan things except for the CPU that's on the motherboard because you end up taxing it.
Yep.
And you also generate a lot more heat. What I found is that it's almost not the opposite. It's almost the opposite now. It's like, let's push every large frickin' thing into a computer. You know, and we'll liquid cool the hell out of it because, you know, that's the trend that's been around since the early 2000s, I think, when it was all like copper piping. Back in the day, you actually had to solder like a plumber.
Yep.
I don't know. I think I would just stick with the 30 series. If I ever went back to NVIDIA.
Yeah.
I would rather put my money into more RAM, a better CPU, and a better motherboard. And a thumbstick drive.
I totally agree with you.
I don't think... Like I said, gaming... Now, granted for video editing, maybe, but then again... When you think about this, what's the point of... If you're not going to do, like movie editing, at that point you would go with Apple. Because they've always been the best in terms of, like, you know, for video editing software and things like that. The thing I don't understand with this that people aren't getting is that this is just the latest thing.
Yeah.
It's the latest bleeding edge technology that people obsess about. And you know, people want it. I personally could give two rat's asses about it because I honestly don't have a purpose for it. If I upgraded to an RX 6600 Eagle from Gigabyte. That's the version I went with for my Radeon. And you know, I had been an absolute anti-Radeon guy ever since my one of my original ATI Radeons failed.
Right.
And I was bitter about that. I was already pissed off at NVIDIA at the time because they took over 3DFX. And later finding out that 3DFX actually took the books, you know, like Enron. And I do think also that it's just, once again, just another fad. It's like an ego thing. It's a narcissistic thing. It's like, you know, who cares who's the latest, greatest thing? If it works for you, if it's not causing you problems, and these cards are causing problems already out of the gate. Dazz already pointed out, we've already got the black screen of death. You know? And you're probably going to get a lot more fatal errors. You know? I don't know. I don't see the benefit to it. I just don't.
Unless you actually have a lot of money and you just don't give a fuck about it.
Well, yeah, if you've got disposable income, well, first of all, you should be spending your money more wisely than on, you know, a piece of shit like that. Like, you know, actually, you know, pay your bills and, you know, put food on your table and take care of your kids if you've got kids and things like that, or take care of your spouse if you've got a spouse. You know, this is a luxury item.
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, I was like my favorite sports car in the history of sports cars was the 1987 Lamborghini Countach. That was my favorite car. I saw that poster as a kid in my school, and I said, I want that fucking car. And it, you know, it was a badass car back in the day.
Yep.
And then the Diablo came out, and that did 212. You know, and I was like, whatever. I don't need to go that fast. 88 miles an hour, I'll see some serious shit. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But no, I think honestly, that was a really bad joke.
No, it's
and
just
you're right. It is just ego. It is. This is just luxury, and it's like, you know, people that are hardcore gamers will say, I could benefit from this. Look at your graphic specs on the game that you're playing. This is overkill right now. Now maybe when we get into,
it's definitely overkill.
Right now it is. I think the 40 series is a
Even
little
the 40s
overkill.
way, yeah.
Yeah, I think the 30s are probably where you want to stay at.
You can literally get a 30 series graphics card and just have 64 gigs of RAM and you'll be fucking good for like 10, 15 years.
Yep. You're not wrong. Well, supposedly that'll be true, but you know, Microsoft, they'll fuck everybody over and say, upgrade your computer because we're going to fucking change everything and we're going to completely rewrite it and do everything different.
So here's the thing. What's more important to you? A new graphics card or a faster computer, regardless?
Define faster. Because your computer is only as fast as your slowest device.
CPU and your RAM.
That's a toss-up because my brain's telling me that because the RAM makes the computer happy.
Yeah.
More RAM makes the computer happy. However, big brain equals also joy. So I'm kind of torn. My gut instinct would say, look, if I've got a decent CPU, I would go RAM. To be honest. I would load up I would not quite max up my board, but I always go, like most of my motherboards, I will always use all 4 DIMM slots.
Right.
And I will match pairs. In other words, match all the clock speeds. I didn't realize that clock speeds actually do make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't match them, you are going to have problems.
Yep.
But and you always want to buy everything in pairs or in quads. Like if you buy like 2 if you buy 2, but actually you want the serial numbers to be kind of close together too, because you want to know what part of the line they came off on the assembly line. So you want those numbers to be very, very close together, because at least you know what batch it came from. And the thing, I'm sorry if I'm nerding out, guys and gals. I'm just remembering all the times I surfed Micro Center's websites and went to all these other computer stores back in the day online and things like that, like Tiger Direct and Newegg and all that stuff. So this is the inner geek in me. I
This
will
is the
say
tech geek
that
coming out of you.
this is the tech in me. Yeah, this is the shit I went to college for, and fuck my life that made it worse.
Yeah.
Because now I can't simplify. I can't simplify. I was so good at simplifying issues. Now I can't. Now I have to talk in alphabet soup.
Exactly.
So I will say this: RAM for me, but CPU is like right there. Like a good CPU is right there with me. Now the best thing is to find a good deal on a CPU, motherboard, and RAM package.
Yep.
If you can get that, you've
You're
already
gold.
got like,
You're the
you've got a
gold.
good battle. Because those things are not always compatible across different systems. Like certain, because every generation of CPU, the pins change.
Yep.
And it's usually more pins, which means your old CPU will never transfer over. Some stay in the legacy. Some stay in the same framework for a little while, and they just kind of add more wafers onto the chip for the CPU. But at some point, like with RAM especially, they change that fucking key slot every fucking generation. What is it now? Version 6 they're on right now for RAM. I think that's the new version. I'm still on DDR3.
DDR7 is supposed to come
back.
out soon too.
Yeah, of course, yeah, that's because Moore's law is applied. Moore's law said everything would get faster, in like roughly about a year and a half, which now is down to about 10 months.
Yeah.
But it's been like that for about 25 years anyway. So what I'm getting at, folks, is if you want my opinion, look at what you have now and feel out what you want. Because honestly, it's going to come. This is what I always tell my clients when I do computers for them. What do you want to do in your computer? If you're just surfing the internet, watching YouTube videos or TikTok videos or talking to friends online, you don't need a fucking 50 series RTX. You can use the onboard graphics card.
Exactly.
As long as you have as long as you have the graphics card chip on your CPU. That is one thing you have to do. Otherwise, you won't have any video.
Yep.
But every CPU nowadays, I think, actually has that built in because most motherboards are already coming with default HDMI.
Yep.
Hell, even my 10 plus year old motherboard from Gigabyte has an HDMI port. I never use it, but yeah, if you want my advice, just think about what you're going to do on it. Now, if you're a hardcore gamer and you want to play the latest greatest games, consider the 30 series, maybe the 40 series, or whatever. I think it's the.
I would say the 40
Are they at
series.
7,000? Are they at
budget for it.
7,000 or 8,000 for Radeon? I don't know the equivalents. Mine is my 6600 is based on like the 30 series.
Yeah.
from
Because I
NVIDIA.
remember the 9000 series in Radeon is coming out soon.
Okay, so it's the 9,000. Okay, so yeah, they're already at 9,000.
If I remember correctly.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think you are. Yes, you are correct. Yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing. Honestly,
The 9000
And
series is
ultimately-
technically equal to like around the 4000 series card for NVIDIA.
right. So what are they? I mean, were they going to go to 10,000 at the next release, or are they going to
Probably.
redo the numbering system? That's the other thing, too.
$99.99.
Yeah, yeah. And it literally will be
99.69?
and it'll be $9,999.99.
Exactly.
Um,
Yeah, you never know. We'll see.
The funny thing is, did you know that SLI is dead?
Oh, is it?
If you don't, yeah, SLI's been dead for a while now. But SLI was the ability to basically link two video cards together via cable.
Yeah,
I never
remember
really
that.
I never really figured out what the benefit of that was. Crossfire was the other version. So SLI was NVIDIA's version. Crossfire was Radeon. Apparently, they don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I believe the theory is because GPUs are so huge. By the way, here's a funny fact. So my first computer with a graphics card was, it wasn't very big, but it had a little fan on it and things like that. It was the 3DFX Voodoo 3 3000, the Voodoo 3 3000 series, and that was like the top of the line. Yes, the 4000 existed, but apparently the 4000 sucked. when I worked at Ford and I took apart some of these old PCs from like back in like the 90s,
Yeah.
the video fucking cards were as big as the fucking unit was. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? We are back to ginormous size video card.
Are you surprised about that?
Yes, because everybody was under the belief that smaller is better. But they forget. If it's big enough to pay, it's big enough for me. What I was always told was this: small computer systems suck at good airflow. Airflow is important if you're not going to do liquid cooling, and you have to compensate for that. And you want a decent. That's why I always liked ATX computers, was because you got a nice big case. And you had a lot of air circulation, and you could have multiple fans. Now, granted, people don't like fans because they make a bunch of noise, blah, blah, blah. Go to a fucking server farm. Go to a server room. Spend some time in a server room with over like 4,000 servers with a little tiny-ass fans all going at the same time. You need earplugs. Okay? So shut up about, I can't hear my game. Man. So, yeah, my point is that, and I'll go back full circle here. RAM for me, then CPU. What about you, Dazz? What about you? What would you do?
Depending if I still have a decent motherboard and CPU, then I would upgrade my RAM and GPU. I'm technically in the overhaul. I need to
right, and we never did talk about hard drives.
Well, hard drives, you have to go SSDs.
Well, no. Hard drives transfer over to new computers.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
There isn't anything you're going to be locked. Now, obviously, if you're going Windows, yeah, you got to worry about license key because fuck them. Because motherboards are actually they don't really tie your license key to the hard drive. It's the motherboard they tie it to. Actually, specifically, according to what I heard years ago, there's actually a point system. The network interface card has got the most. I believe it had 7 points tied to it. 7 points means that out of like 10, 7 of those points are just for the network card. So if you change out your network card, you're pretty much building a new computer according to Microsoft.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think you and I are kind of of the same belief of RAM first, the CPU and motherboard are good.
Yeah.
But if you're honestly, if you're gonna build a brand new system from the ground up, just spend your money wisely. Spend it wisely.
That's what I was
because you don't
into my eventual upgrade.
And this is the same advice I'd give for Mikey too. Spend your money wisely. Don't piss it away on the latest greatest, because the latest greatest things always break and have bugs.
Yep.
That's including motherboards, CPUs. Remember, guys, Intel had that CPU problem with one of their latest versions. It cooked people's computers, literally damaging them.
Yep.
Because of bad code.
Yep.
And Intel was one of the great CPU makers. Funny enough, the people that formed AMD were actually engineers from Intel.
Yep.
But
yep.
Yeah, so remember that. So remember these wise words, folks. Like you choose your friends, choose your computer hardware wisely. Now pay Dazzo and I $50. We're going to buy some merch in our merch store, which you can find in a link in the description or at a pinned comment and in the chat. Go check out our merch.
I was waiting for you to get the hook on that.
I had to set it up. I had to set up the segue for that.
And
I didn't forget.
Speaking of that, use the code word SPRING40 to get 40% off selected merchandise on the website. Go for it.
Noise. Do it.
There's a very good selection, and I just dropped the brand new Spring Edition t-shirts for it. And it's on sale.
Very nice.
It's added on the sale. Go get it.
And I just hear a Miss Amber. Hi.
Hello. I've been listening this entire time, but you were, doing your thing. So
We were geeking out, yes.
yeah,
Ember, I got a question for you. How computer geeky are you?
not very computer geeky,
Okay.
but I
Okay.
try really hard to act like I understand, and that way I can at some point understand. Um, but I'm more, I mean the
You're more
answer
the end user than the builder
correct.
kind of
Correct.
person.
I'm
Okay,
more like
gotcha.
the entertainment side rather than the like I built my PC because I wanted to game. I didn't build my PC because I wanted to build things. You know what I mean?
I built my first computer because I love Lego blocks.
Yeah.
No, that's legitimately why I love building computers, because it's like Lego blocks.
Yep.
Now, Lego blocks made me very angry when it would fall apart on me like house of cards, but that's beside the point. We won't talk about Skittlekick's temper.
No.
No, we won't.
I think
But,
the people can already find out about that.
You don't know nothing. There are no such videos out there. There's no payday out there you can watch or
All my streams.
anyway. Moving on. I resemble that comment.
There you go.
Yeah. So, oh, by the way, folks, if you're paying attention to Discord, apparently they're now going to be offering a thing where in your in-stream, and I think this is only on the Discord streaming service that they offer, you will now have your friends list will appear. I showed this to Dazz, and the first thing I said, great, more screen clutter for viewers.
Yep.
Fantastic. I'm sorry. I don't understand. Like, okay, I get it. People love to see their comments on the screen. I get it. It's a narcissistic thing. I get it. I understand too from the streamer's point of view. They don't want people to think, "What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to? Are you talking to your invisible friend?" I get it. But it is such a distraction.
Yep.
I don't want to see a chat box on the screen. And I know tons of big time streamers that still do it to this day.
Yep.
And I can kind of train. I've kind of trained my brain not to look at it. But if you look at the graphic for, and was off PC. By the way, most of the stuff we're reading from is from PC Gamer, which I remember getting that magazine as it's been around that long.
Yeah.
If you look at that screenshot or their thumbnail, it shows the chat box or your friends list to the far right of your game.
I believe you can technically.
Can you make that translucent?
I don't know. That I don't know.
That's what I don't know. Now, yeah, if you can size shift it, that's fine because you can make it like a little 1 pixel square.
I think that's something still new in development.
It is. It's part of their Discord social SDK, which is basically for developers.
Yeah. But if you actually have that SDK developer activated on your Discord, you can technically activate it.
Yeah, you can. And it's probably in the settings somewhere buried, but I'm not gonna go. I have no purpose for.
I don't care much.
No, I don't either. I mean, I begrudgingly use Discord for our podcast because I hate Discord with the passion of a million white hot burning sun. I don't like Discord at all. It's a glorified chat room, and guess what, folks? I grew up in the '80s when bulletin boards, and in the '90s when chat rooms were a thing. You know, like AIM had chat and Yahoo Messenger. So I go back to the days. Back in the old days.
Go back to the old BlackBerry days.
I had a BlackBerry I was going to use at work to help me check emails while I was on the floor working. And they said, no, you can't have these on the floor. Why? It's got a camera. Which I'm thinking, you do realize that almost every cell phone has a camera, especially nowadays. You can't buy a phone. I don't think you can buy a phone without a camera on it. Yeah.
Even really those retro ass freaking Flip phone still has a camera. What the fuck?
Yeah. It's like what 1 megapixel.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's like one big, like you look like your picture looks like you're a freaking Minecraft character.
I
The
remember
first
those.
the first phone I ever had didn't have a camera. It was a flip phone, and it was one of those ones where it had like the speaker for the phone was like in the middle of the front of it, and the top of the phone like flipped over the speaker.
Oh, weird.
Yeah,
So you'd have to hold the phone at a weird angle.
right.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
my first phone sucked.
my first flip phone was a Virgin Mobile flip phone.
Mine
My
was
mom
the
got a.
Razor.
My mom was a massive QVC fan. She loved QVC. Due to her health, she couldn't actually go out shopping because she was in really bad health. So to go out and shop, she had to go to QVC. And she bought me a phone. Or a phone. Yeah, she bought me a phone. That's a new term.
A phone.
A phone. She bought me a phone. It was a very flowery phone. And it was cool and all. The one thing I loved about that phone that you don't get on new phones, as far as I know, is ringback tone. The ringback is what your caller will hear. So if you're calling somebody, you can actually put music on that side for them to listen to instead of a stupid, like when they pick up or whatever, or they're calling. No, I'm sorry. If they call you, they'll hear music instead of like a ringtone or a ringing thing or whatever. I thought that was really cool. I have never found a phone that does that. But yeah, the flip phone that you had, I had one similar to that, and it was ass.
Yeah.
It was ass. Virgin Mobile sucked first and foremost, but it was actually a free. I think it was a free 1 year I got with. I was like, okay, well that's fine. I don't have to pay for it for a year. That's fine. I will tell you this: I was a last minute adopter of the smartphone. I hated smartphones.
Yeah.
Why? It's a giant fucking rectangle with no angles like a real phone to actually position it on your face comfortably.
To be
It's
honest,
a fucking rectangle.
I have to agree with you. I miss the old flip phones.
Yep. I had a flip out phone too. One that actually flipped out sideways to get to an actual QWERTY keyboard.
Yep, I
Now
remember
that
those.
was cool.
I
Those
remember
were
those
awesome.
fucking Samsung
I
ones.
had I
I
had
had
a
2 of those.
So I went from the phone that I spoke of to a hand-me-down Razor phone, and then a Samsung slide phone was the third phone I had, and it was like glow in the dark blue.
I had the same one
Okay,
similar to yours.
I will say yay on the glow in the dark blue. That's pretty badass.
I love those slide out QWERTY keyboard things. Those were fucking
Yeah.
awesome. I miss those days. To be
I
fucking
missed the
honest.
actual tactile. One thing about your phone. How many phones? You said you went through 3 phones before you got to that one, or that was your third phone?
That was my third phone.
So I went through. I think the first smartphone was 5 regular phones, like a flip phone or a flip out phone, before I bought a smartphone. I will tell you the only reason why I ever bought a smartphone
Why?
was because if my fiance sent me like a photo or
You
a
can
video,
read it on the other one.
could not fucking open it. Nope. Because it would not handle it.
Yeah.
So I broke down. Now I only bought straight talk phones. I don't go for the freaking flagship phones. I can't afford them, and I'm not gonna sign my life away to some jackass at AT&T or freaking Verizon or whatever. Hell no. I like Verizon's coverage, but I do not like signing my child away. Basically.
No, I agree with you.
I'm non-con. I don't like contract. I'm a pay as you go. I'm like monthly. I'm a monthly.
Same.
I'm not contract.
I used to be on contract and I hated it.
Yeah, most people do. And I
So
think I
glad.
actually still have my. I think I still have my original Samsung phone. I can't remember what version it was, but I had a Sky 7 or smartphone, and then I've got I have a newer Moto G stylus, which funny enough, I never use the stylus. It just sits in this little slot.
Yeah.
But I will say now, obviously both of you have smartphones.
Mm-hmm.
Are you AT&T or Apple? Oh, you're not Apple. You're Android, right? Both of you Apple or Android? Or are you?
I'm
iPhones?
Android.
I'm an iPhone.
Sympathies. I will tell you why I hate iPhone. My fiance has an iPhone. I can't call her. I cannot call her phone. It goes right to voicemail. I've looked at her phone. She's not blocking me. Never put me on Do Not Disturb. Nothing. Fucking App or Android and Apple apparently have problems where sometimes you can't call an iPhone from an Android.
That's true. That's
a
happened.
dick move. So because it used to work.
Yep. That's why you need to use
I
WhatsApp.
actually thought about going as far as to change my phone number to see if that would help.
No.
Probably wouldn't. But yeah.
I don't know that I recall not being able to call an Android.
It's very selective. I believe it might be the device to device.
Oh, okay.
I think the other thing with iPhone is I don't like the Apple culture.
Yeah.
I don't like, and the thing is with Android, this is the beauty of Android. I want to put my music from my computer onto my phone so I can listen to that instead of the commercial blatant radio. Sorry, Dazz.
Hey.
And have fun with that.
Hey.
Yeah, fuck your radio station.
Don't be rude. Come on now.
No. Fuck your radio
I
station.
love how long it took you to pick up on that.
So yeah, no kidding, right? But I do think that the one thing I will say about smartphone is that actually it keeps me very happy because I can actually put like something on in the background, like if I'm driving a long distance, which I've done many times, like thousands of miles.
Just stare at your
I
wife.
can put. What?
Just stare at your girlfriend.
Well, if I'm driving to see her, sure, absolutely. But I cannot sit in silence. And besides, if I looked at her picture, I would be in the ditch or upside down or, dead on the side of the road. I'd be a corpse. But I do think that being able to like have something like watch a movie in the background, like just have the movie in the background or whatever, is pretty cool. I'm not a distracted driver where I really don't look at it a whole lot. I'll glance down it. Plus, I can use my GPS. I should really go back and learn how to read a map again, like an actual physical freaking map. Like in the old days before GPS ever existed. Go back and read a map or just drive. Remember, folks, in America, odd-numbered roads go north and south. Even-numbered roads go east and west. And remember, wise man once said, "Wherever you go, there you are."
Yeah.
So. Sir, why were you going 15 miles and over the speed limit? Well, I was trying to look at my map and
Yep. It said it was going 70.
Yeah, what was that? What was that thing in Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, where then the van they're stuck on the freaking median because they're so baked out of their minds, and the cop pulls them over. He's like, "What?" Because he got baked off the freaking exhaust. Because they were driving the big Popmobile. That was great.
I remember that.
And what was it? It was in Black Sheep, the movie Black Sheep with David Spade and Chris Farley, where they were like driving their friend's squad car or whatever. And they were just high off the nitrous because the guy had nitrous in the thing that leaked, so they got high off it. And the cop pulled him over, and he's like, "I had you clocked at like." I think he's like, "No, either you're stopped or you're like going like 15 miles an hour." That was so hilarious. So, anyway, actually, that's like one of the worst movies they ever did. Tommy Boy's way better than Black Sheep, for the record.
I'm looking at a PC part picker right now. I'm looking at all
You know what?
CPU.
Because I built so many computers in my lifetime, I never look at a part source. I just literally just do a quick check and see if the
Yeah, that's what I
motherboard, CPU,
do.
and RAM all match up.
Yep, that's what I only do. I don't care about the price right now. I just want to spec out what I want and then deal with the pricing after.
Yeah.
Where do you shop for your parts?
Usually,
Like either one of you.
I go either Amazon if I can. If not, I'll fucking go to Best Buy or whatever to fucking pick it up.
Ooh.
I mean, I have a computer.
That is like
source
the
I can
worst
go to.
7-letter word to ever exist.
Best Buy. I mean, I could go to Walmart.
It really depended. Some of my stuff I bought off Amazon. Other stuff I bought right from the manufacturer itself. When I bought all of my stuff, it was right in that window of Black Friday, like where it was like gearing up. So
Nice.
I kid you not, I waited for that, and I did that on purpose. And I forget the exact number that I spent, but I saved over $1,000 by doing that.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Hey, that's some good advice right there.
Black Friday, just before Black Friday.
Black Friday sales.
You'll save fucking money.
I mean, the Christmas in July isn't too bad.
Yeah.
And then there's.
I'm looking at the Ryzen 5s.
Oh yeah, I'd love to get a Ryzen. That's the next computer build for me is a Ryzen based computer.
I think
Gotta go back to my AMD. I've got to go back to AMD.
I think I'm gonna stay away from Intel just for my next build. I'm gonna likely go.
But do be careful. No, the one thing I'll say is if you're gonna buy from Amazon, do be careful because they have had a lot of counterfeits of hardware up there.
Oh, I know.
So you got to watch out for that stuff. But yeah, I definitely think that's pretty awesome. Like if you can save money like that, like $1,000, I mean that's a hell of a sale. That's I mean that's like what 70% off, like all the shit right there. No, that's a really good deal. I don't think I've ever caught that big of a deal when I build computers. I try to look for sale prices, but most times they're not even going on when I'm building computers.
Yeah, I mean, when I did mine, I went as far as like looking at at all, looking at the different parts, looking at who had what price and writing them all down, and I literally did it by that and picked it like that, and then kind of did it that way.
Have you ever thought about being a contestant on The Price is Right?
That would be really fun.
Seriously, if you pay attention to that game show, you can figure out what shit's worth.
Oh yeah.
And there was like there's actually a documentary on Amazon Prime. I watched this a couple times where a guy who I tried many times to be on the show, like he had just tons of his name tags or whatever, and when he finally got called. To the point of which the producer said, we got to shut this shit down. And we got to figure out if this guy's cheating. Because they legitimately thought he cheated. No, you know what he did? Most of his life he spent writing everything down in a spreadsheet. Because 9 times out of 10, all the prizes you ever saw were basically a variant of of the same prize.
Yep.
It was just a different, like with the cars, it was the same car, but it had different features, which you had to pay attention to. But they'd have the same refrigerator, same ranges, same products. And if you're really good at shopping, like this is the one thing. If you were really good at shopper at a grocery store or at any kind of stores, you could exactly know what the prices were or get really close to the actual price. I thought that was pretty awesome. And then on top of that, the guy came in with I think it was back when Bob said it was you had to be within $100 of the actual showcase to win both. And I think the guy was at $50. So yeah, they called out shenanigans. They had to shut the show down because obviously this is all pre-taped, and they came back and said, yeah, he legitimately won. He wasn't cheating. So, and the thing is, the guy was actually calling out numbers from the audience for like the entire week. He was calling out numbers because he knew exactly what it was. And remember, they round everything up. So he would tell them the exact price of the vehicle or the exact price of the product, even though it wasn't rounded up. So he knew because he'd been writing stuff down. I think that's pretty cool. So what does that have to do with like computer stuff? It's called be a smart shopper. No, be a smart shopper. Be a smart shopper. The price is right. If you can save $1,000, the price is right, bitch.
Yeah, true.
So, and tell me if you caught that reference.
Did you?
Yeah, the price is right. Actually, the price is wrong, bitch. But you know, fucking Happy Gilmore, man. Gilmore versus Gilmore and Bob Barker. Come on, now it's a classic scene. Best scene in the movie. So, but,
don't mind me. I'm looking at a PC part picker. I'm staring at the.
No, I get it. I did want to talk about the whole Tesla attacks.
Oh, jeez. Yeah,
I don't even know if I want to go down that rabbit hole, honestly, because it's just psychopaths that like have no. They literally have like a millimeter Peter type of attitude.
Yep.
You know, it's like,
yeah,
we're angry. We're angry at a man who's trying to save our fucking country money.
Do you see?
We're angry at a man who's. I don't even need to see it because I've already watched every other one that's been caught on fire. By the way, somebody else was just caught keying a fucking Tesla and is now in jail.
Not surprising.
And guess what, folks? Ladies and gentlemen, these people have political ties to Congress members and people like George Soros. So don't be surprised. But no, these people are so unhinged. They cannot stand that they want to save us money. They just can't stand that shit actually needs to be about our country first. They can't stand it. They don't want that. They want a dystopian society. They want what 1984, which was Orwell's book, in the 40s. They want that world. Go watch 1984. That is a fucked up movie. And then read the book on top of that. It is a fucked up book. That is what people want today. They don't want people being happy. They want to be miserable. And guess who's the most miserable? The left. They can't even be happy for anything. So yeah, I'm gonna go set a car. I'm gonna go set a $70,000 car on fire because my feelings. Yeah. To quote a famous line, "So what, comma, I don't care about your feelings. If you want my sympathy, you'll find it in the dictionary between shit and syphilis. That's where you'll find my sympathy."
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just don't care. That's why I don't really care about the Tesla thing. I mean, I feel bad for the people that are actually like, well, and people don't realize Elon did not make that fucking company. He bought the company. The people that actually created it were different people. There were different owners.
To be completely honest, didn't know that until like a few, like not that. I mean, not like recent, but like.
You didn't know that Elon didn't own the company?
Like when it I mean, I know now, but like originally when it got popular, I didn't know that he bought it.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think he was an early investor in electric vehicles.
I believe that was that.
I think that was where it started at, and then he saw Tesla, and he's like, "Yeah, that's a cool company." And you know, people that look, I don't have a problem with electric vehicles. I think it's pretty cool. I just don't want it force fed down my throat, and we don't have the power grid for them. We just don't. Our shit is so old, and guess what? Taxpayers don't want to pay the money to fix it. Just don't.
Yep.
Now we got bigger problems right now that we got to deal with than worrying about an electric vehicle. So when people are setting fires to vehicles because I don't like this man because, and literally now there's a new term. There's now Elon derangement syndrome. So yeah, there's now that. So we've got TDS for Trump derangement syndrome, and we've got Elon derangement syndrome. Huh.
Huh.
So, I personally, you know what? People just have too much time on their hands, and they think, "Oh yeah, I'm never going to get caught," until you realize that almost every place in our country has a camera somewhere. Someone has an eye on you.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but England's worse though. England
I
is
know.
way worse. They've got a camera in every corner. I mean, next thing they're going to be up every orifice.
32 gigs of RAM. Mm.
Nah, double it, go to 64 because now 30. Apparently now 32 is the baseline.
I know. We talked about that.
Remember when 384 kilobytes of RAM was all you needed?
I know, right?
Remember
God
those
damn it.
days? Remember those days when Bill Gates said you only need 384 kilobytes of RAM? That's plenty. Yeah, and now we're up to terabytes of data storage, and we're up to gigabytes of RAM, and pretty much anything like that.
Yep.
I can't wait until we get to the yottabyte
Oh my god.
or storage, because I hope that somebody will run with a Yoda tagline. Much storage you have.
Oh
That type of thing.
god.
You need yottabyte.
Oh Jesus.
You know, something like that would be hilarious. That would be hysterical. But
Nice impression, by the way.
yeah.
Oh boy.
Wait, did you say? Can I ask you a question, or was it just a statement I missed?
No, I said that was a nice impression.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try. Although I do admit my Cookie Monster is a heck of a lot better than my Yoda.
Cookie?
Cookie Monster. Haha. Yes, for cookie. That's good enough for me. First time I did that for my fiance, she cracked up. So, and I actually worked on that one. I actually had to watch Sesame Street to get that one right.
Yeah.
So, oh well. I mean, first of all, I watched it as a kid. Cookie Monster was one of my favorite characters next to Grover, which, funny enough, is done by the same actor, same voice guy, same guy that does Cookie Monster, Miss Piggy, Grover. Is also the same guy that does Yoda, Frank Oz.
I like Grover.
I loved Grover, and I loved his alter ego, Super Grover. I'm cute too. So, but yeah, that was a little bit off the rails, but
It's okay.
yeah,
What?
I know.
I'd
I'm
be
just trying to fill
concerned.
dead air. I don't like dead air on
Yeah,
programs because that comes from my theater background.
right.
I hate dead air. Dead air bugs the
I'm
hell out of it. It's like a pet peeve of mine. I guess we
same.
could talk about this one thing in the news.
Go for
Apparently,
it.
a Michigan baseball player went viral after snorting the third baseline or imitating that he was snorting the third baseline like a line of Coke.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, really? And people are actually butthurt about that.
Eh,
There are people that are legitimately butthurt about this. Like,
Why?
how pitiful is your life that you got to get angry about a dude that just does something ridiculous? You know, it's like all the people that got butthurt over celebrations when you get a touchdown in football games. Like now you can get penalized for that.
Well,
You can even get fined for that now. Like, who in the hell is so butthurt? I can't celebrate no more.
well,
Dude.
because they want to be for the spotlight, and they don't. It's all Look at me,
Dude,
look at me.
I'm an attention whore. I don't mind the spotlight. I love the spotlight. I'll nerd myself. I don't care.
Right.
I'll make an ass out of you and me. I don't care. I'll shove a carrot up my nose. I don't care.
Hmm.
You know, life is too short to be like that. Honestly, life is too short. If a guy wants to pretend like he's snorting a line of coke off the freaking third baseline, whatever. You know.
Yeah.
At least he did not sign pardons with an auto pen.
Eh.
Yeah, you've heard that one, right?
Oh
Mhm.
boy.
Because now those pardons are now null and void. Jail.
Jail?
But, yeah, so that was I swear to God that the first thing I thought of with this one in the second article that I sent you was
Yep.
literally, this is straight out of GTA 5. This
Yep.
is some shit you would see in GTA 5. Some random character in the game would literally be on. I think there was a stadium there, wasn't it? I don't remember if it was a baseball field. I know there's the golf course. I don't think you could go. Well, the arena you could go into, but I don't think it had a baseball field on anywhere in the game. But it would have been really funny if they had done that. I mean, it would have been so GTA 5. And this other one I found the other day was about this guy who was decided to be a dumbass, and we're talking straight out of GTA 5. Had a Colt pistol in his hand,
Oh
and
yeah. I
two
saw that.
magazines in his pockets, and then he had 4 magazine rifles that had 300 and 400 rounds for his AR-15. And he said, I'm gonna be a smart guy, and I'm gonna go and shoot up a police station because I'm smart."
Ah,
And I'm thinking, "You jackass! Like how unhinged you have to be to do shit. Like, who would sit there and contemplate? I want to go raise some hell, and I'm going to go shoot something up right this like a dumbass because I'm smart." Like, yeah.
yeah.
I look at that, I'm like, yeah, and it wasn't like one time; it was like 30 shots, in the air. And this is in Texas, at the sheriff's office. He's literally inside the sheriff's office shooting it up.
I'm surprised they
thinking-
didn't fucking shoot him down.
What the fuck? Do you think you're at like Roscoe P. Coltrane Boss Hogg's freaking Boar's Nest office or the freaking sheriff's office in town? Are you fucking kidding me? And if you look at the thumbnail of the guy that did this, I swear to God, it's another character straight out of fucking GTA 5. I literally thought this. I'm like, my God, is this GTA 5? Yup. Yup, it is. Oh.
Yeah.
It just wants. I really want. It kind of makes me want. It makes me want to think, how has this never been RP'd in any 5M server? Like, how has this never been a thing? Because this shit is straight out of a 5M server. I kid you not. But yeah, nobody's roleplayed it though. But that, if anybody else, yeah, I would. Yeah, go into 5M.
Don't give Umber ideas. She will do it. She will do it. She will do it.
That would be amazing.
All right, it's gonna happen now.
There you go.
Yeah, but Dazz, you're not on patrol, so
It's okay.
It can still happen. Oh,
It's okay.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting for the day that.
I expect to see a video of it too. By the way.
Oh yeah.
She'll already live stream it.
That's what I mean. I want to see the evidence. I want to seize the evidence.
AMSI battery supply or Corsair?
I actually do like Corsair stuff.
I think Corsair is more better than MSI.
But wow, good English, buddy. English is much more goodly.
I know.
I
can't English anymore.
I can't word. I literally cannot word.
What is word?
I couldn't word yesterday. Oh my God. Like, for anyone that watched my live last night, or in 5M, I felt bad for them afterwards because I could not type for shit. I could not talk for shit. The night before, I got, not last night. I don't know what fucking day it is, but one of the nights I only got like 2.5 hours of sleep. So I was like coming off of that and then trying to function that day, and I just could not function.
Yeah.
Don't work around heavy equipment.
Well, I mean, as I had like people's lives in my hands all week.
Yeah. I'll be sure to come to your hospital when you're off work that
Oh God.
No, I think I'm on. I actually think now I hit 38 hours of lack. And Dazzo's giving me shit. You know what I'm saying? Stop playing trains. I'm like, dude, this ain't trains. No. This, I'm starting to think, is becoming GERD, which is gastro issues. Basically, severe heartburn. Which, if you know anything about GERD, if it's not treated, it can eat away your esophagus.
Yes.
Right now, when it actually does happen, I think part of it's because I have a really shitty diet. I eat a lot of spicy shit, which I shouldn't be having, but I love spicy foods, and I drink a shit ton of soda.
Well,
Pepsi Zero is my nemesis, and so much. I wish Mountain Dew had a Mountain Dew Zero. That'd be amazing. Fucking won't do it. Or Pepsi won't make. So, but I think that's what's causing it. But honestly, literally just taking tums. That's all I'm doing. I have like a couple of those chewables, or I think they're the smoothies or what I have now. They're kind of good, but I'm probably putting some kind of poison in my body now. I mean, probably know where that shit's not in it, but it actually does help. But unfortunately, lack of sleep has made me very loopy. But this guy won't go out driving. I ain't stupid. Because knowing my sorry ass, I'd probably drive onto the fucking ice and fall through the ice. Because our lake is thawing right now. Yeah. Although, I guess to take it a bit off a tangent, I actually did help my dad do some work in the garage. We actually are building a room, like a storage room inside of his garage. It's got like a 3-car garage, but it's like a long, it's like, so if you take a rectangle, turn it sideways a long way, it's in one of the corners that we're going to build like a 10 by 12 because you can't build on the property because fucking stupid county rules.
county rule sucks.
What county? But we're going to build the thing inside. It's not going to be a structural like wall or anything like that. It's just going to be a place to put. Because I got to go to Texas and pick up all my shit on my storage locker. I can afford $112 a month.
Yeah, you got to do that too.
Well, and I got to help my fiance get out of hers because she's paying more than I am. She's paying $138 a month for fucking public storage.
Oof.
Now, both of ours are climate controlled because we have shit that cannot be an exterior type of garage.
Right.
So, but I just, so my dad and I were like trying to like move, like we have like plywood, like a plywood back or whatever that we had to move, like all 3/4 inch plywood, 4x8 sheets, which is not light. So we have these car movers, which are like basically these large dollies that you set a car tire on. And there's 4 wheels on like a little, think of like a little scooter basically.
Yeah.
A car. And so we use that to actually put the board on, actually help us drive around the garage. But keep in mind, our garage is so bad. We got these giant ass cracks in the freaking concrete that literally look like the earth split in half. If they're that big. And it was guaranteed, because I used to lay concrete back in the 90s. This was not done right. So, because you also can, this is the type, because it actually folds up like a pyramid, you can trip on this shit and like screw yourself up. So I've done several times because I wasn't paying it. Not today, but over the course since I've been up here. And I will tell you, having to make this room kind of sucks because my dad's going to end up tearing it down once I pack my shit and move out of here. Once I actually can afford to get a place. I can't afford them right now. Plus, I actually helped take care of my dad because he's got his health issues. I helped take care of him. So we're going to build this thing probably the next few weeks, whatever, pricing out stuff. And we also, he also went to Penske to see what a truck would cost because we can't trust that U-Haul is going to have a truck with cruise control.
Right.
Because I'm not driving 1,000 miles to Texas to not have cruise. Fuck that.
Right.
My dad's already done that. My dad did that when I first moved to Texas. I said, never again are we doing that. And I did. I had a CRV. That, for whatever reason, whoever fucked with the cruise control, never plugged in the electrical for it. It was just literally it was sitting in there, but it wasn't pushed on all the way. If I go like the cruise control would like turn on, turn off, turn on, turn off. I couldn't get it to stay on.
Wow.
I go to the hood and it's like, oh, that's loose. So I finally had cruise control. Yeah, I had to drive. It was exactly 499 miles from my old house in Wisconsin to my dad's driveway, and I did that with no cruise control. My dad drove over 1,000 miles with my mom before she passed away when I moved to Texas, in a Chrysler Town and Country that did not have cruise control that worked. Yeah, not good. So we're looking at that, and it's going to cost $1,100. Texas, Minnesota, rent that vehicle.
I mean, not that horrible in pricing.
When you consider gas, too.
I know.
And the fact that all these places require you to top the tank off before you deliver it, otherwise you get charged for it. So, and those things are shitty on gas.
Yep.
And this is, I forget this, I think this is a 16-footer. I don't really need anything that big because I don't really have that much shit. But I don't know if we want to do a tow behind because we've done the tandem tow behinds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I want to do that haul because we've done that a couple times. Because part of it is I don't want to have to duck because I'm tall. I don't want to have to squish myself down trying to get shit moved in there, trying to carry heavy stuff in. And but you know, and we're gonna have to take 2 vehicles down there. But what we're probably going to, because we're not picking up the vehicle until we're in Texas. So, because we're going to be stopping off at my brother's and then going to Texas from my brother's because he's the halfway point in the country. So that's perfect. Get some good, get a good night's sleep and then go to Texas, and that's easy. That's easy to drive 600 miles versus 1,000.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway, so I got a couple more stories here we can talk about here because this is all to do with Windows 11.
Oh no, Windows 11.
So Windows 11 apparently had a big issue with this last update. This is for 24H2, the March update, which just happened, was it last week, I think?
I believe so.
Excuse me. Yeah, so apparently there's a KB number, which is their knowledge base number. So I'll read it off to you. It's a mandatory cumulative update for KB Kilo Ryan, I guess would be the word. I don't remember. I can't remember which one. 5053598, and it was basically causing all types of crashes and failures. What a surprise! Windows 11 sucks.
Yeah.
These were looks like they were causing blue screen of death error codes because these are all OX codes, which 0x codes are hexadecimal codes, which will usually pop up on a blue screen of death. And this is during the update process when the update gets stuck at 6, 28, 38%, and it even go all the way to 99% only to restart and show the error. Because something didn't go as planned. So you get a blue screen of death. You can't obviously reboot. You have to literally power it down or use your reset button if you got one. Try to do it. What they were recommending for now, because I don't think this has been fixed yet, because this was a couple days ago. Yeah, this is March 14th. Yeah, this is 4 days ago. So they may have fixed it, may have pushed out an update. I don't know. But basically, you can uninstall that. Now you can actually go into the Windows Update, uninstall this particular one, and then wait for the patch to take it, the new one. Or you can go into the System Restore feature and actually roll back your computer to before the update. As long as that feature is turned on your computer, you should not have a problem restoring to a previous state. That is sometimes a really good fix. If you're a super user, you may have other hacks that would work, but for the average user, just do the system restore or uninstall the stupid update. So, and the thing about this was it actually fixed a lot of security flaws. What a surprise! Windows 11 has security flaws, and it also had the 0-day vulnerability, which is a wonderful thing that we've been reading about for over the years. I forget what it totally goes into, but 0 day is basically like a massive So, it's basically malicious attackers can elevate privilege. Because Windows is so ubiquitous. Everybody's got to use Windows, so everybody's gonna get attacked because people do stupid shit on their computers, like opening up files they should never open up, or going to bad websites,
All right.
not paying attention, not having a VPN, not running backups, backup, your computer, your files. So then we get to this next, because this relates to this.
Ooh.
I think, yeah, this is related to NVIDIA's. I guess I could have segued that in for discussion on GPU, but I didn't.
Okay.
It's a bug with the with NVIDIA's GPUs, and it's preventing prevents applications from. And it specifically ties to an incompatibility issue with DirectX 9. And it is an issue because DirectX 9 is, I think we're on 12 right now, so this was 4 generations ago. And this is when DirectX 9. Certain programs still require DirectX 9, especially if they're older programs. Most will run 11 or 12, pretty good nowadays. But some of the older ones won't. And of course, this would cause the DLL files, the dynamic link libraries, to fail. And this would include things like games and PowerPoints, browsers, and some websites won't even. So, this has been confirmed by Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
And this was announced on their Canary channel build, which I believe is like a beta test, I think, is what they named it. So some will have to reset their build number to actually get this to work. Some may just get a luck. You can replace the DLL, the D3, D9 DLL files, which are located in the System32 and the SysWow 64. Basically, open up your C drive and look for those 2 folders. They're in there. But it can only be done with admin rights and PowerShell.
Well,
you might be able to do it with the command line. You might be able to do this with the DOS prompt line.
Yeah.
I have never tested it because I don't have that version. I have Windows 10, and so all of these issues dealing with NVIDIA, yeah. And this is again Microsoft fucking things up like always.
Typical.
So this brings me to my last point.
Oh.
If things work out, I, Skittlecakes, will be leaving Windows forever into Linux Mint. That's right. I am going to go to Linux. Fuck being under the Microsoft bullshit tyrannical Windows operating system that hasn't worked worth dick ever. Now I have played with Linux Mint many times. It's probably the most closest resembling to Windows that there is. You can put a theme onto, if I use the cinnamon configuration, there's the whole thing, is it mate or cinnamon or XFC or whatever. Just look the shit up. Go to linuxmint.com. Check all that shit up for yourself. And no, we are not sponsored by Linux Mint. It's an open source platform, free for life. And you don't have half the fucking shit. Yeah, you do get some shit wrong, but it doesn't fucking break everything. The biggest reason why I want to switch is because I'm sick and tired of Windows. I've been in the Windows ecosystem since That's right, Windows 98 SE. My first introduction on my own PC, but I did go back to Windows 3.1 way back in my early high school. So, I am sick of Windows, I am sick of Microsoft, and I'm sick and tired of this fucking stupid rule about TPM 2.0, which is basically, it's a freaking instruction set inside of the processor. Ain't got it, ain't upgrading. Yes, you can sort of hack around it, but Microsoft doesn't want you hacking around it. And they supposedly say, well, we'll relax it, but they're going to put a watermark on your computer telling you to fuck off because reasons. Kind of like what they did to Windows 8 users back in the day when they didn't include a start menu because they wanted you to play with tabs because touchscreens were going to be the thing. Microsoft does stupid Microsoft things. That's why they call them Microsoft micro $, because that is all they legitimately are. Honestly, I want to know I want to know who these jackasses are in Microsoft headquarters that say, let's do this. I swear to God, they sit around this big ass conference table and just get drunk. Good idea just to make people build new computers.
Mm.
You know, I mean, that's just how dumb it is.
Yeah.
And yes, I will bitch freely about 10 because do people not remember? Do you not remember when Microsoft forced or tried to force feed Windows 10 down our throats when Windows 7 was just fine?
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember get Windows 10? You know that little what was it? GWX icon that just randomly appeared in your taskbar. And if you turned off your computer and you didn't do things right, guess what? It would install Windows 10. I believe it was a new installation. It was not an upgrade, which meant everything on that hard drive because it was formatted. Nobody gave permission for that. Microsoft did it. Of course, people bitched about it, called and complained about it, but nothing was ever done because Microsoft has expensive lawyers that can get out of anything.
Yep.
And I'm looking at you, 1990s. Remember when that happened? Yeah, I remember that too. Windows Exploder and fucking Netscape. I remember your lawsuits. I remember that. And then also, I also was thinking about this too. The only reason why I've never fully switched to Linux is gaming, because gaming isn't exactly the most intuitive way. They have made it easier with Steam because they do have Steam does have its own system for doing Linux, but the games that aren't Linux based, you can get them to work with an application called Wine, which I forget what the acronym is, but it basically makes Windows talk to Linux. Playing games that aren't Linux compatible, you can technically fudge it with that system. Again, it's a convoluted mess. I have not experimented with it because I get frustrated, I get easily angry, and I say, fuck it, I'll go back to Windows. Because they're getting rid of Windows this October 25, it will still work, but you won't be getting updates anymore. Now, granted, some people will celebrate and say, yay. But if you recall, you look at some of the games that are out there, and people that are still, the developers that are still supporting Windows 7, the Steam app will no longer support Windows 7. You got to be on 10 or 11. So, over time, things like your antivirus will quit working because the system will say, we're not supporting Windows 10 anymore, you got to be on 11. So, yeah. And again, people, remember, Windows 11, for people who can't get it to work on their computer, you will have to build a new computer or buy a new computer. Guess what? Your old computer, while you can repurpose it, will also become e-waste. So Microsoft is going to be, environmentally terroristic when they have everybody ditch their old computers and scrap them. Good job, Microsoft. That's a great way to think. How do you call yourself a green company when you do shit like this? I would like to know that. So, regardless, yes, Microsoft, $, fuck you. I will happily move to Linux. Anybody who wants to join me in that celebration, I commend you. By the way, the cool thing about Linux, any version of Linux you get, for the most part, you can put on a flash drive and you can launch the program through your flash drive. Your flash drive is set to a boot device, which it would be. Go to your BIOS, run a little thing that says USB boot order. Go to boot order, which is usually under advanced properties or advanced booting options. Change your first one from the C drive to the thumb drive, and you can boot right to Linux. Or if you're done installing it onto the device and you're going to run it, you can actually run it right in the background of Windows. So there you go. You can play with it. Test drive it. See if you like it. Like I said, you can reskin it to make it look like a Windows. In fact, I think the one I actually found, I don't know if it's been updated, but you can make your desktop look like Windows XP. I think you go further back than that and make it look like Windows 95. If you really want to have some fun. But I typically just went with Windows 10 because it looked kind of cool. So I would go with Windows 10. But I did do Windows XP for a while because I did like how that looked. It was weird because I went from Windows 98 SE to X. I skipped over Mistake Edition number 1. Anyway, Daz, what do you think? Would this be something you would ever do? Or are you hopelessly hooked on Microsoft
I don't know.
Windows?
I don't know. I might just stay on Windows just for shits and giggles. I mean, I haven't really done anything with Linux, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, honest Linux. I mean, honestly, if you're just surfing the internet, everything you can do in Windows that you're doing in Windows, maybe gaming is a little bit harder, but most things that you can do in Windows, you can do exactly in Linux because it's easier. The only problem I have is when people say, "Well, there's no support." Okay, let me ask you this seriously: have you ever in your computer using days ever called Microsoft tech support? Have you ever had to do that in modern time? You just surf the internet from your phone to solve a problem for your computer. I think most of you are like that. I'm not being sarcastic, I'm not being flippant, I'm not being snarky. I'm just saying most people never call Microsoft support. So what the fuck do you care if there's no support the way you think it's going to be? The thing I do not like are most of the Linux communities because they are so they are the read the fancy manual type. They are the, well, we're too big brain for your small peon brain, so no, you're too smooth brain for us. Go away with you. You're not geeky enough. You don't talk to us in language we can understand. You don't write your subject in language we can understand. You basically, blah 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 blah. Basically,
you're nothing to us. Bye.
No, correct. And that I believe, and I think another reason why people are very, very hesitant about it is because they don't really know enough about it.
Yeah.
I mean, Linux has been around since 1990. 1991 is when Linus Torvalds actually created it.
Yep.
And it's been around for that long. So it's had a nice history. And think about this. Most all servers are Linux based.
Yep.
So your web server, if your web server does things like PHP, they're on a Linux server. Most of the internet backbone is Linux based. So there's no excuse not to use it. I grant you, it's a little more techy. Yes, you have to relearn it. But remember, most people, on average, it takes about 30 days to get fully acclimated to a new operating system. Even if it's Windows or Apple, it still takes you a little bit of time to figure where everything got moved or removed or what was removed. So, Linux Mint is what I recommend because it's based on Ubuntu, which is kind of like everybody's go-to. I only use Ubuntu for my servers. I don't use it for desktop because I do not like their vertical taskbar. Hate that.
Yeah.
You can move it, but I don't like it. And that's all run by Canonical. Linux Mint also, like I said, is most user-friendly. There are other ones out there. There's Zorin, there's Arch, and there are all these other ones out there. Linux Mint is probably the most user-friendly. And it's not hard to do. It's just a little bit of learning, a little bit of research before going into it head-on, and you can test drive it before committing to it. You can't do that with Windows. Microsoft never let you do that. You can't really test drive Windows without fully installing it.
Unfortunately.
Linux you can. Yeah. So, I digress. So, yeah, the TPM really kind of pushed me over, but all these errors now with Windows 11, I'm like, and it's funny because almost all the odd version numbered of Windows have always been the great ones. All the even ones were always shit. And yet now Windows 11 is like one of everybody's like, oh, I love Windows 11. It's so great. And then you read all these errors with video cards, all the camera issues that people had, back in the early days. Or I think it was either Samsung cameras or something like that. Like drivers were not installing right, or they were just broken.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, this recent update of Windows 11, guess what it also did? It removed Copilot.
Copilot.
So, their own freaking update broke Copilot and removing it off people's computers. Now, yes, you can go download it again. It's not a big deal. But the fact that they would, like I said, QC, quality control. Are you fucking kidding me? Non-existent Microsoft. It does not exist. Microsoft does not believe in making a stable operating system. They just don't. They don't believe it. They don't believe in it. They never have. Windows is never, ever a finished product. So get it out of your mind. It's never going to be a thing. 11 will never be out. In fact, I started reading about Windows 12 sometime like early last year. They're already talking about Windows 12. So, yeah, good luck with that. And when did Windows 11 come out? About a year ago? So now it's about a 10-year cycle. So, just saying. Just saying. Happy time. I don't think there's going to be enough people to actually make a dent, but it would be so cool to see like a massive influx of Linux users going right and saying, screw you to Microsoft, we're done with you after all these years. That'd be awesome. But it won't happen because too many people out there have said, Linux is hard. Linux is not good for you. It'll never work like you want to. So, those are the people I mock. And I can do that because I was an IT guy. And I know you RTFM fuckers out there. I know who you are. You are that type. You are the types that would say, we're not going to help you until you read the manual and understand what you're reading. Well, guess what? Your fucking manuals suck. When a manual is written by an engineer that does not know how to dumb it down for the average user, you're a fucker. Why do you think things like the Dummies series of books ever existed? Because they got it right. They simplified it. They made it easy of how to do a thing. So, anyway, back to you, Dazz. And Ember, I'm sorry, I don't mean to forget you.
You're totally fine. I'm adding in where I can, but when you guys are in your full-on tech, back and forth, I'm just like, alright, I'm gonna let them do their thing, and I'll add in when I can.
In other words, it's whenever Skittlecakes decides to go on a rant about this and Dazz just stays quiet. And he'll just sit there and laugh because he knows all the rant.
Yes.
Wow. Speaking of
I
rant.
might be the king of rants. I don't know.
Speaking of rant.
Speaking of rants, now a rant's about a rant.
Where the fuck have you been, Mr. Toxic Atlas?
Hey, look, I just got off of work, you Canadian son of a bastard. You need to relax. This is what happens when you schedule this on a Tuesday and I'm not available.
Well, that's your fault, not mine.
Yeah, like I can't call off of work because I'm a good citizen and I'm trying to get better money.
Still working at McDonald's?
Shut up! It's decent food.
Welcome to McDonald's. We got bad food for you today.
Hey, at least they got some decent food. Keeps me fed.
Not since the 80s, man. Not since the 80s.
Here we go.
Anyways.
I mean, they took the happiness out of my Happy Meal. Fuck McDonald's.
I can give you the happiness back, but it's going to cost you extra.
I would rather eat a cup of dirt than ever have another McDonald's sandwich again.
I know what you're talking about.
I am surprised he hasn't played Fast Food Simulator.
Nah,
I don't have it yet.
I rebought it. I rebought it.
There's
Yeah.
your.
I was just started playing it.
I have seen. That would be a great multiplayer. Can you imagine?
Multiplayer is better than single player.
It is better. Yeah, it actually is not as fucking hard. I've watched people play, and I'm like, dude, that is amazing.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
Although I wish it wasn't already taken, but it was one of the greatest things I've ever heard. Somebody said when I was watching Squirrel's channel when they were playing that back during the new year, they were talking about this, and they said we just totally missed the idea of calling us or basing our name off Five Guys.
oh
Because it was
god.
literally five of them, and they called themselves Five Morons. Fucking amazing.
The Five Morons burgers.
Well, go to Five Morons. Yeah.
I mean, you can still technically do it.
1K French fries.
No, no, come on, that's just wrong. That's wrong.
Or if I'm playing the game, it's 1K burnt burgers.
Yeah. But I haven't picked it up yet. Cause I don't even know if I'm committed yet to it because I'm so obsessed with trains right now. I just broke 1,600 hours, by the way. I broke 1,600
You're
hours.
still obsessed with that game.
I am, dude. That game.
I don't wanna
I'm
know.
telling you, that game is crack.
I don't want to know.
Trains
Speaking
is
of
a model
games,
railroading simulator that I've been addicted to since September. I've logged over 1,600 hours in that game since September. So basically, almost 6 months.
$11. I don't have $12 to spend on like god dang game. Can't they give better sales like $5? I'd rather spend
Speaking of
$5
dollars,
on a game.
There's probably some porn game up there for you.
Nah.
Hey!
Like a dating sim.
You shut up.
He has
Okay.
plenty. He has plenty of them.
I also have a girlfriend, so fuck off. I don't need those dating sims.
Is she?
Uh-huh.
Wait. Is she? Wait. Is she inflatable?
No, come on. Don't be like that. You guys know Nova. Come on. It's just rude. It's rude.
All I think now, the first thing that came to my mind when he said the name, first thing that came to my mind was the movie Short Circuit when Johnny Five goes Nova.
No!
Hey, Toxic.
No disrespectful Johnny Five.
What?
Hey, when are you gonna pick up some 1K frequency merch, eh?
What, you can give it to me for free? Because I'm part of this still?
Nope, sorry. Ember had to pay for hers. Skittles is paying for his too, so.
Yep.
Well, then you're gonna have to give me some, because I can't spend money right now.
Too bad. I can't.
So sad.
I can't gift anything until I actually make some money.
Atlas can't even afford to pay attention.
I know.
I can't afford a house. That's why I'm gonna get kicked out in the next month.
Wow, that's
Isn't that kind of the story of your life? It's like every time I turn around, somewhere you're getting kicked out of a house. Every freaking time. It's like, dude, where the hell does your money go?
We're not gonna talk about it.
I'm buying porn.
No, I'm not doing that. Oh.
Oh, he's not. Yeah, he's not going to stop. That's the point.
Yeah.
He's not going to
Oh
stop.
my god, here we go.
Not going to stop and give it up.
Anyways.
So, anyway,
This is what I get for coming back. I gotta deal with the damn Canadian being a smartass. And then the Skittle Cakes who thinks he can be whoever he wants.
No. Speaking of
I guess that's the best welcome back.
Speaking of games, did anybody watch Firefighting Simulator Ignite? That's
No.
coming out this fall.
I only read about it, that it was going to be a thing, and I have concerns.
Yeah, so it's made by a different developer, same publisher from Astrogon, unfortunately, but looks like everything is on par so far, and they technically took over the entire game from what I was reading, even though
So, in other words,
Wilton Bauer,
for...
even though Wilton Bauer says that it's a brand new game, which I don't think so. They literally reacquired.
From the thumbnails I have seen, it is basically the
Same fucking game.
It's still the squad. I mean, look, I'm not going to say that the graphics didn't look amazing. The fire looks really good.
It's made with
that was
Unreal
amazing.
5, from what I was
And
reading.
that's great because I like Unreal. I like how Unreal looks. I think that
Because
has
that's
great-
what they were using with the original Firefighting Simulator.
With the problem I have with Firefighting Simulator
Was
is it died too quickly.
yeah, they gave up.
It ended up
The
as
devs gave up too
abandonware.
quick.
Correct.
Not
And
not
when
the
they came back
publisher,
and said-
the devs.
No, I know, and that's what I thought was really sad. Because the game had so much more room to grow. I think if they had just added things like AI can manage fire extinguishers and help you fight fires and I just go, hey, I shoved a stick up my ass there. Chief.
Exactly.
So, and instead of having me do the 360, assign somebody to go do the 360.
Exactly.
I think you actually could do that. I was never a fan of the GTA 5 Wheel of Destruction, to actually call action. What I really would think would be cool for this game, for Ignite, would be voice command. No, it would be voice command.
That would be cool.
So think about LSPDFR, where you could do voice commands using the whatever the dispatcher program, that application.
Grammar Police.
Thank you. Yeah, Grammar Police. If you could do that, and you could do that with AI, like actual like AI built into the game, that would be cool because you have interaction. I would think that would be cool. Yes, it'd be a hell of a program.
I don't know.
Again, if you're gonna make a simulator, people want to go for realism. I'm sorry that whatever game's simulator ambulance life is a freaking insult to anybody who's a paramedic. I'm sorry, but it is. And
well, that's why in some ways LSPDFR is just better because there is more realism and open doors. Like you can do more.
With you on that, I will say this, and I said this a long time ago when I first saw Fabiano playing Police Simulator. I said, "This game does well. This could be my replacement for it."
Right.
I really wanted that to be the game, but it wasn't. It was ass.
Yeah.
And Paramedic Simulator, Paramedic Life, it's the same fucking developer. Who can't develop.
Flashing Lights even could have been better.
Flashing
And it
Lights
failed.
is actually better. I just did a little bit of catching up on what they've been doing. There's a lot of shit they've been doing. That's pretty fucking cool.
Have they updated that game? I haven't been in there in a while.
That guy has been updating that game a lot.
I have to
That's
check it out.
impressive. That is impressive. Now, it still probably has the same quirks that it always did. But it's getting better. It's getting better. And he's actually fixing stuff.
I will say this: Ready or Not will always be a damn good game for me.
Yeah.
I am not into FPS. Dude, my FPS days were Call of Duty, the original Call of Duty, way back in the day, and things like Soldier of Fortune, Double Helix. I never liked shooter games because they pissed me off. Fuck you, Payday, and everything you stood for.
Payday is great.
So
You can eat a giant bag of dicks for all I care. I fucking hate. Ask Night Owl about my night with that game.
I don't need to.
That is something to be said though. Games that, speaking of like Ready or Not was great even in the beta. What is something to be said for games that can pull out right out of the gate, not even fully be released yet, but also be a good game. And yeah, there were a few weird glitches when Ready or Not came out in their beta, but they fixed them almost immediately, which I found to be so impressive.
I don't mind that because they did the right thing. They went through an alpha, beta, and then a pre-release, and then a release, and a demo before that. Yeah, I get that. That's what
They did better than Payday 3. I mean, Dazzo and I were there when that happened.
That was a surprise too, because Payday 3 was supposed to be like the big thing.
I was excited for 3, and they fucked it up.
I remember reading about that, and I was like, okay, is this going to be the same old shit, or is it going to be better? Turned
Same
out,
old shit.
wasn't better. No, it was worse. It was worse than
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the curators who just kiss all the ass of the developers. I'm talking about the real commenters.
Oh, yeah.
Real people, the players like us, us average schmoes who, can't get jobs or, we date porn stars or whatever. My thing is with shooter games is that I just never had fun with them. I just never did. And it could be a skill issue, sure. But, I do think I actually had more fun blowing shit up in GTA 5 with LSPDFR.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's always fun.
I have a video up there where I had a really bad fucking day. Like, I was pissed that day. There's no audio. There's only audio from the game. There's no commentary. I was pissed. All I did was take my fucking rocket launcher and just blew shit up.
Yep.
All I did for I think it was 7 minutes of just destruction. It actually worked. But yeah, I think also Ready or Not is basically like that original SWAT 3 I used to play way back in the 2000s. It's kind of the same thing. I was like, again, I don't want to rinse and repeat or a modern repaint of something that I played 20 some odd years ago.
Yeah.
25 years ago. So, I mean, look, people are going to enjoy it. I mean, people still love the hell out of some Call of Duty. I can't fucking stand that franchise.
I touched it. I don't want to touch it again. I don't like it.
Oh, you touch it every night.
Not like that. Okay, look.
Dude, you walk into every one of those. You know that.
Yeah, just like the fucking G-string that you're holding against me to this fucking
day.
Dude, I have not, since that day, I have not played it. You can ask Dazzo, you can ask Ember, I have not played it once. Now that you mention it, I may actually play it before we close out.
No! God damn it!
So,
I blame that on myself.
Look, I understand there is a fascination with games like this. I get it. I mean, guys remember God of War?
Yep.
Remember when that was a thing? Like Gods of War or what was that one where you had these really futuristic looking three-wheelers or these monster freaking vehicles that you drive all over the place?
God of War.
Things like was it God of War or something like that?
I believe
or was
so.
Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, shit like that. People just love that stuff. I get it. I personally just don't care about stuff like that. It just does not appeal.
You're a sim guy.
I think I've become more of a sim guy than an action player.
I've
think I'm
always
more
been a sim guy for the most part.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know, because you got pretty into LSPDFR for years.
Well, that was because of
5M for
GTA
years.
5. But I've always been a sim guy. I've always been a
Obviously,
sim guy.
5M was a big thing. And then I'd have to go up to your YouTube channel and see what the history of Dazzo actually. Now, granted, I know the Dazzo. No, is it your still the same account, the Dazzo, Canadian Dazzo, whatever link?
Yeah.
That's still the same one, right? Okay.
Same.
So I'd have to go back to your very first video and see the evolution of your channel. And kind of, I want to kind of see, not to watch the videos, but just to see the progression, if it actually is true. Are you more of a sim player or action adventure type of game or a shooter game?
I
I'm curious
guarantee
about
you
that.
I have more ETS videos than I have on actual GTA 5 videos.
But that's one game, though. That doesn't make you a sim game.
Oh, yes,
That's
it
the
does.
thing. If you just had,
Technically,
because you have obviously more than that up there now, but I'm saying if we're just playing ATS or ETS, I'd be like, like a simulator. Again, that's like Squirrel. Like he is the king of simulation games,
Yeah, of course.
right? But that's been his whole career, though. He's done that his entire career, and I got into him back in 2013 and 14. So but I've seen you play Ready or Not, Heyday. Obviously, we all did that.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of a collage of gaming. I think it's more of a collage than just one specific genre. But hey, if you bring back Baking Simulator,
Nope. Never.
you know,
Never. I'd rather play a lot of other
Super
games.
Mario
than-
Simulator.
I was
I'd rather play a
gonna
lot of
say,
other games.
I thought he was gonna say I'd rather play with myself. But that's an Atlas thing, so I can't really go that route.
Yeah, come on. Let's be honest, he'd rather play Super Mario Sim than anything else.
I got a lot of other sims.
I've watched that game. I couldn't get into that. I couldn't get into. I mean, I think it is multiplayer, but I think that Super Market Together is probably the better multiplayer. But
PGA Tour 2K25 is better than 2K23.
Oh, here we go. I'm not getting that game. I already got one PK.
That PGA 25 is better than PGA. Whatever the fuck
Yes.
they called it.
I don't agree.
Yes.
I Nope. I throw clubs. I throw tantrums. I Happy Gilmore myself off the freaking green. Fuck that game. Right in A.
I would rather play the one that Dazzo and I played together. I will not touch that new one. I don't like that.
I would rather play golf with your friends.
Hey, that's even good. That's even a good game.
That is more entertaining. Golf with your friends is far more entertaining than try to shoot a damn white ball and go 4. Word. You know?
No, I'll agree with all that one.
50. You know? I mean, look, I'm not the greatest mini golf game player. I mean, I suck at it. But you know what? I have more fun with that than I ever did with PGA. Just, I think part of that is your fault, Dazzo, because you actually did play golf in your youth, like when you were in your 20s or in your teens in school. Oh, fuck you. That's for you. Because I can't. I mean, look, I'm a better bowler in real life than I am.
Ooh. Now, if there was a good bowling game, would be nice.
That would be nice.
Well, there was a PBA one, but I don't really know.
PBA 2021 was the last one.
Yeah, whatever that one was, I have my wish list of. I'm like, I think I'm gonna probably.
Oh, they have a 23.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm really interested because there was a lot of people that didn't like it.
Is this from the same devs too? Yeah, they are.
Yeah, of course.
Literally the same devs. Never mind. I had 21, but I barely played it.
Yeah. I think the last bowling game I did was for the Wii.
No, I'd rather go real bowling then, to be fucking honest.
Look, I actually like real life bowling. I have since I was a kid.
Same.
I got pretty good at it when I'm practiced up. I actually spent money and bought a custom ball.
Nice.
Oh.
I have to go bowling one day again. It's been a few months since I last went.
I actually want to go back bowling so I can actually build up my endurance again. Like I want to be able to get, a little better fit.
Yeah.
Actually, see if I can. Because the last time I went bowling was with It was when I had just right when I had my heart attack. I went bowling. I was suffering from congestive heart failure, so I was like 250 pounds of water weight, and I was struggling so much. I mean, I only have a 13-pound ball, which is pounds too small for me. But I needed to build my wrist back up,
Mm-hmm.
But I really struggle when I'm like not skill up. So yeah, I think part of it's because when I was a kid, I actually bowled like a damn good game. I think it was like I was in the 200, I-200 bowl, and I was a kid, and that was just dumb fucking luck. No cheating either. This was literally just me throwing the ball down the lane, no bumpers, just throwing it down the lane. I actually got strike. I'm like, how the hell is that possible?
There you go.
I guess I had better. I probably aimed better in a bowling alley than I did in the toilet.
Yeah.
Okay? So, right, that got weird. But I don't care. It's 1K frequency. But I think if you're going to talk about simulator games, yeah. I don't consider Radio or Not.
Radio or Not is just a FPS.
That's a shooter game. That's an FPS.
We need to get into Radio or Not again.
What?
We need to get into Radio or Not again, Dazzo.
Make an appointment with Ember. We'll talk about it later.
Wow.
Let's do it. It's alright. He knows it all. Well, he only said that because he knows that I'll make him do it. And so the answer to that is yes. Yes, he will.
The only way I would ever play that game is if I could just friendly fire on Toxic.
No, that's not how that's gonna work. You're not gonna fucking shoot me.
So Toxic, what's your
right
work schedule?
Right now, I'm making the I see something gesture right now.
Okay.
And it's Toxic over there.
Okay.
Trying to sneak around the corner, trying to snipe, and I'm like, yeah, boom.
Yeah. So
Okay,
what's your
I
work schedule like now?
I tried telling you before, my usual days off are Monday and Wednesday.
Cool. Too bad. I was gonna actually do something tomorrow, but I don't think I'm gonna be back in time. I got the call to go back up to the new transmitter site, so
Oh,
got some work to do.
fine.
Got some work to do tomorrow.
Dazzo has to phone home.
Okay, easy. God damn it.
Ouch.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of driving tomorrow.
So before I forget, remember,
What's-
what do you principally play for games? Like, what genre do you really prefer?
I mean, I'm mostly roleplay and PFP with simulator mixed in. But I will I love trying new games, so I will add in, someone says, hey, I'm downloading this, wanna play? Unless it's like $70 and I've never heard of it before, odds are I'm probably buying it, so.
Every AAA title that's being released.
Yep.
Oh, I'm not kidding. I'm not joking. Like, that's legitimately what's becoming.
No, I know, but.
Oh. You guys hear? That new Life is Strange game has bombed.
Really?
It did not meet expectations at all.
No,
It lost money.
not surprised.
Yep. I read that article the other day. In fact, I think it was on PC Gamer when I read that. And I didn't know if I was going to bring it up, and I was like, oh, maybe I will.
I'm gonna be
Yeah, my
really
fiance loves the
curious.
game.
Sorry. Go.
No, I was just going to say, my fiance loved that game, and I'm like, yeah. I think people saw the game as like, they thought it was going to be something good. Like, because they brought back some of the original cast from the first game, like Max Caulfield, obviously. But they said a lot of it seemed to be like just the same old bullshit, just the same old gameplay. There's like nothing new with it, really. So the main character grew up a little bit. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Where's your story? I mean, because there was literally no cohesive story. This is what I was reading. I'm like, oh, that sucks. But my fiance actually beat the game and then went back in to play some of the different endings. She really got hooked on that series. That's so out of character for her. Like she's like a Disney girl, and it's like, yeah, you're into that game. Impressive. I actually have the first game, all 6 of the series, all 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I've played it before I uninstalled. I just was not interested.
I'm gonna be really curious about the Firefighting Simulator Ignite. I read a lot of good things that's gonna likely come out with the game, so.
Remember, we heard good things.
Who knows?
I am dubious about this one. I showed you, and I'm like,
I know.
oh no, I don't. I mean, look, I'll play it.
I'll play it first. I'll fucking stream it live
Yeah.
on the day of the release, and I'll fucking do it. I don't give a damn.
You'll take a shit on the game if it's.
Yeah.
And
Just think, you know what's going to be funny?
What's up?
You fall through the world.
Ah. Like I did with the ambulance life sim.
That's why I brought that up.
Who knows? Who knows? But apparently, there's gonna be a career mode. No, you can technically walk around the actual fire station and all that good stuff. There's some sort of a free roam from what I was reading as well, and you can actually use foam in the hoses.
So,
because
went
foam
to
was
PC.
technically never introduced
that actually should be a thing.
into the old one, into the
you
squad.
know, Yeah, you had to use fire extinguishers to put out like grease fires and
That doesn't
I
make
think for
sense.
oil fires. Well,
Oh,
it does make sense, but
it makes sense to some certain extent, yeah.
right, but you would use actual foam truck. Like you would actually have a foam truck.
Yeah.
This is a left turn. This is for Atlas.
Uh-oh.
On PC Gamer, one of the latest about games.
Uh-oh.
Best sex games on PC that aren't. Just saying. I have an opportunity to go shopping.
No. Shut up. I don't fucking play those games every day. What the hell?
Every day? Every day?
He admitted it.
I do not play them every day.
You play them every day? Damn.
No, I said I do not. Oh my god, you guys are fucking dumb. God, why did I come back? Why did I come back?
What I heard was I don't play them every day. That didn't say I don't play them at all. Just saying.
Okay, so that's like me admitting I'm gay or I'm bi or something. Like, I don't care. I'll admit I'll play a sex game, but not every day.
Uh-huh.
God.
You heard it here first on 1K frequency.
Okay.
It just got real.
Show you real.
No,
okay.
thank you. I don't float that way. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, just shut up.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Okay, here's a headline about Life is Strange. Life is Strange double exposure, reportedly a large loss for Square Enix. Or
Yeah.
Squeenix, if you will. As analyst who adds the company's IP fundamentally varies too much between good and bad. The subheadline is double dipping.
Just like Toxic.
Now, granted,
Wouldn't that be double penetration?
Shut up. God damn it. Fucking shit. Why did I come back, guys? Why did I decide to come back? I could have just came home, ate my quarter pounder, played some Grand Theft Auto. No, I had to join the voice call and say hello to some people I thought were my friends, but no, they're just gonna be rude. If you're just tuning in, this is 1K frequency, ladies and gentlemen.
to quote the great Yoda,
Much butter I sense in you.
Okay. Yoda, you can go shove it up a stick.
Oh my
he's as
god.
he's good at wording as you and I are.
Yeah, totally.
Not even wankers.
Anyways.
Why don't you take off, you hoser?
Fine, we'll fucking do that.
God damn it, you're taking this too seriously, son.
Well, I do have a life outside of fucking doing a lot of work.
Well, I
Gaming
hope all
and
of us
doing
have a life outside of
The
fucking...
fuck?
Oh, here you go. Headline: Epic will give Fortnite cheaters a second chance with a new, more forgiving ban policy as long as they didn't do anything too awful or illegal. How exactly you mitigate or manage morality? You can't. Because we are all evil, hairless monkeys.
Who knows?
That's just, I don't understand. First of all, who the fuck cares about Fortnite?
Nah.
Why? It's like, what was that, PUBG? How the fuck games like that even become a thing? I do not.
Maybe
I
for kids.
understand Minecraft's popularity, but that shit, I don't know.
Maybe for
anything about
kids.
how that became okay, fine. Fair. Yeah, just stay away from Roblox. Keep your kids away from Roblox. It's fucking poison. The communities. Man.
Yeah.
Poisons and pedos.
Anyways.
Yeah. Running out of topics here, guys, so we may want to wrap it up because I can't find it.
Yeah, we might want to wrap it up.
I'm tired. I'm
You
wrapping things up.
contributed nothing except giving me fodder. I'm just. Well, thank you. I'll come back.
It's Skittles, go take it away, my friend.
All right, folks. Well, this has been 1K Frequency with your hosts, Dazzo, Atlas, Ember, and me, Skill Kicks. And guess what? Don't forget to check out that sweet merchandise at Dazzo Nation. The link will be in the description after the show. It's pinned in the chat right now. You have no excuse. 40% off with the Spring 40 code. That's right. Go check it out on select items. Go check it out today. Do yourself a favor. Buy some swag. You know you want it. You know you need it. Spring t-shirts are in stock now. Go check it out. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. And we are out.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye. Didn't know this was a TV show.
Maga.
It's a TV show commercial over here.
Kiflom!
Kiflom.
Yeah, we miss you, Mikey.
Okay. I want Mikey back. If I came back, Mikey.